Good morning, students. Sum number 18, illustration number 18 is a very basic sum of labor variance. Let us read the sum. Calculate labor variance. We are given number of hours per unit. Means to produce 1 unit, standard hours required are 720. So instead of quantity like in material cost variance, we used to have quantity and price. But in labor variance, we will have hours and rate. Okay. So to produce 1 unit of a given output, labor hours required are 720, that is standard, and standard rate, that is wages payable per hour, is 1.50, and actuals are given just next to that. In actual, we needed rather 800 hours per unit, and rate paid was 1.40 per hour. Okay, now let us tabulate this. You can see the Excel sheet just next to the PDF view. So I'll first put the standard hours, that is 720. Rate is also given to me, standard rate 1.50. So if I multiply, I get value as 720 into 1.5. Okay, so I should have spent 1080 rupees on 1 unit of this output. Okay, now let us see how much I have actually spent. I have spent on 800 hours at the rate of 1.40. So amount spent is 800 into 1.40, 1120. Okay, so now let us calculate all three variances. First one is labor cost variance. Okay, this is overall variance. Okay, we will compare standard cost and actual cost incurred. Clear? So standard cost was 1080 and actual cost is 1120. Clear? So find out the difference. It is 40. So I have spent 40 rupees more. So we'll call it 40 adverse. Okay, students? Very simple. The formula for labor cost variance is standard hours into standard rate minus actual hours into actual rate. Okay. Next is labor rate variance. In labor rate variance, we will compare standard rate with actual rate and we'll multiply it with actual hours. Okay. So standard rate is 1.5 minus actual rate is 1.4 into actual hours. It's 800. Clear? So it will be 0.01 into 800. Clear? So we are getting it. Point zero. It's 80. And since we have saved on the rate, this will be favorable. So I'll mark it as F. Clear? Then labor efficiency variance. Here I'll compare hours set as standard and actual hours. Okay. So my standard hours were 720. Right? Right, 720 minus actual hours were 800 into standard rate, that is 1.5. Okay, so your answer will be 80 into 1.5. So 120 adverse. Why adverse? Because I have paid for more hours, isn't it? Okay. Now let us verify with our equation. So labor cost variance 40A is equal to labor rate variance 80F plus 120A. So we are getting the answer. Since 80 is F and 120 is A, net will be 40A. Clear? Okay. Thank you, Nupur, Jason. That's it. Please go through. Okay, Saurabh. Now let us solve the next sum, 19 sum, and just copy the format. Let us read the sum. Calculate labor cost variance, labor rate variance, and labor efficiency variance. Standard cost is given to you. Labor rate ₹2 per hour. Okay, and hours 3 per unit. For producing 1 unit, they are requiring 3 hours. Clear? Actual units produced 300. Rate paid per hour is 3, and hours worked 900. Clear? Now, if you observe, students, we are given standard for 1 unit, but actuals are 300 units. Okay, so we have to revise the standard. Clear? We have to revise the standard. Okay, so we'll just need 2 more columns. I'll insert 2 more columns here so as to make one revised standard. Clear? So hours per unit are 3 and rate paid is 2. Clear? And this was only for 1 unit. You can write at the top for 1 unit. I required 3 hours and rate was 2 per unit. Now actuals are given for 300 units. So above the actual column, I'll write this is for 300 units. Okay. See, I can't compare value of 1 unit or standard of 1 unit with 300 units. So I have to revise my standard to 300 units. Clear? So I'll revise it to 300 units. Okay. While revising, just use the proportionate method, cross multiplication. Okay. That is for 1 unit you need 3 hours. So for 300 units you will need how many hours? 900, isn't it? So write 900 hours will be required. And what about rate? Standard rate will remain same. Clear? That is 2. So my standard cost will be 900 into 2. Clear? That's it. And now actual hours worked were 900 and rate paid ₹3. So amount totally paid for labor is 2,700. Students, have you understood this revised standard concept? How I have revised, I have prepared this column for revised standard. And how I have calculated the values for UI standard. Okay, fine. Thank you, Jason. Now we can use our formulas and find out the variances. Okay, just a minute. Let me shift this to the left side. So first one, labor cost variance, standard cost minus actual labor cost. Standard cost was 1,800, but actual cost incurred was 2,700. So we spent more than standard. How much more we paid? 900, isn't it? So it will be 900 adverse. Clear, students? Then labor rate variance. Formula is standard rate minus actual rate into actual hours. So our standard rate is, just put the values, 2 rupees minus actual rate paid is 3 rupees into actual hours worked for is 900. Okay. So we have paid 1 rupee more per hour. So in all, we have paid 900 rupees more. Okay. So 900 A adverse will be the variance. Clear? Now last one, labor efficiency variance, standard hours minus actual hours into standard rate. Okay, standard hours were 900 and even actual hours worked for are also 900. Clear? Into actual rate, standard rate is 2. So 0 into 2 will be 0 only. No adverse or favorable. Clear? So our total labor cost variance is due to labor rate variance only, isn't it? So I can write here 900A, that is labor cost variance is completely due to labor rate variance. Okay, efficiency is up to the standard because we expected them to use 900 hours and they have completed their work in 900 hours itself. Clear? Somewhere I wrote 9,000. Yeah, this keyboard is very old one, very difficult to punch in the values properly. Okay, so I hope you have understood this question. This was sum number 19. The previous one was 18. Now I'll take one sum in which different types of labor will be there, that is skilled, semi-skilled. Okay, so that we can wind up our syllabus today itself. Let me check. Not this, not this, not this. Yeah, here we have 3 types of labor: skilled, semi-skilled, and unskilled. So we'll solve this one and just copy the format. And the formula is so there are 3 types of labor: skilled, and this write this in the table: skilled, semi-skilled, and unskilled. Okay. In fact, they have given us the table. Let us see whether given standard and actual is for same number of units. then we need not make this table only. We can directly use their table. Are you getting it? If they provide you with a table, and if the quantity of standard and actual are same, you need not repeat that table. You need not copy that table again in your solution. Okay. So let us see from the following: calculate labor variance, labor rate variance, and labor efficiency variance. Okay. Nowhere they have mentioned the quantity, so we presume that the quantity referred in standard as well as actual is same. Okay. So we just need to go through the formulas, nothing else. So that's an easy sum. So first one will be labor cost variance. So we have to take total labor cost, that is for skilled, semi-skilled as well as unskilled. So formula will be standard labor cost minus actual labor cost. So we have to multiply standard hours with standard rate for all the three, which is already provided in the table. We just need to add them, I think. Yeah. One more thing is there. See, they have given number of workers. Okay. So I just need to insert one more column here to find out the values. Since values are not given, even we have to make the table. Okay, I'll show you how to do it. Okay, I'll do it here. Let number of workers. Skilled 30, 20 and 10. See, in case of type of workers, sometimes they may give men and women also. Huh? So it doesn't matter, your formula remains the same. Okay. Now number of workers given, number of hours is given 50 and rate is given 4 for skilled. We need to modify the format a little bit. Okay, so how to get the amount? See, 50, if you do 50 into 30, you will get total number of hours, because for each worker they have given us 50 hours in a week's time. If nothing mentioned, we have to presume that the given values are for a period of 1 week. Clear? So one worker is working for 50 hours. So for 30 workers, it will be 50 into 30. We'll get total number of hours into rate will give us the amount. Clear? So let us do it. I'll multiply all three. 30 into 50 into 4. Okay, 6,000. Same way, I'll do it for remaining type of workers. 20, then 30 and 3. Okay, for unskilled, number of hours are 20 and rate is 2. Just copy the formula. Yeah. So getting 6,000, 1,800 and 400 as my total cost. Clear? Then actual, again here I have to have one more column inserted for number of workers. So actual number of workers were 25, 30 and 10. Okay. Hours 50, 30 and 15. Rate 4.5, 3 and 2.5. If we multiply, we'll get the amount 25 into 50 into 4.5. Same way for semi-skilled and unskilled. Clear? So I'll just add total values of 3 types of workers. Okay, so we got the value. Now let us see. So my first calculation will be, copy these formulas to the left. It's in one screen. Okay, so first one, labor cost variance, standard cost minus actual cost. So our standard cost was 8,200 and actual cost is 8,700. Clear? So we have spent 500 more, so it will be 500 advance. Clear, students? Okay, you can do it individually also, but in labor cost variance, that is first variance, you need not do that because you already made a table. Okay, so all the calculations are there in front of you, so not show it again. Clear? Now next one is a labor rate variance. Here you have to do it for each and every category. Like in material cost also we did it for every material, that is A, B or C. We used to have different calculation. Clear? Last 10 minutes pop-up is there. We'll definitely complete within 10 minutes, don't worry. Okay, so first one for skilled labor. Formula is standard rate minus actual rate. Standard rate for skilled is 4 minus actual rate is 4.5 into actual hours. Actual hours were 25 into 50. Should I make one more column or not required? So I'll directly do it here. 25 workers into 50 hours. Okay, so that will give me actual hours. So my answer will be 0.5 into 1250. Clear? So give me the answer. 0.5 into 1250. 625. And have we spent more or less? More. Instead of paying 4, we have paid 4.5. So this is adverse. 625. I hope you have understood this, students. Any doubts, please do ask. Okay. Now next one is semi-skilled workers. Clear? Again, formula remains same. Standard rate minus actual rate. Standard rate for semi-skilled was 3, whereas we paid 3 only. So it will be 0, I guess, into actual hours. Actual hours for semi-skilled is 930 into 30. Okay, but this will be 0 as 3 minus 3 is 0 into 900 will be 0 only. Okay, last one, unskilled. Rate, it was 2, we paid 2.5. Okay, for how many hours? Just copy it. 150. That is 10 into 15. Clear? So tell me, have we paid more? Yes, 0.5 into 150 hours. So how much we get? And just multiply 0.5 into 150. 75. Since we have paid more, it will be adverse. Clear? So now my labor cost variance is 500 adverse. My labor rate variance is, I'll just find out the total amount. 625 plus 75, that is 700 adverse. Clear? Write it here 700 adverse. This is my total for labor rate variance. Clear? This make it bold. Here I make this 500 bold. And now last one. Labor efficiency variance. Formula is standard hours minus actual hours. So standard hours. Let's copy the names here. Standard hours were 30 into 50, 1500 minus actual hours were 1250. We just calculated above into standard rate. Clear? Standard rate is 4. Please solve this and give me the value. I think it will be 250 into 4, 1000, isn't it? And we have saved hours, so it will be favorable. Yes, F, it should be favorable. For semi-skilled, standard hours were 3 to the 6, 600 minus 13 to 30, 90, 900 into standard rate is 3. Clear? So 300 into 3, it will be 900, but adverse. We have paid for more hours. 900 adverse. Clear? Then last one, unskilled. Standard hours 10 into 20. So 200 minus actual were 10 into 15, 150 hours. Into standard rate was 2. Okay, solve this one also. So 50 into 200, and we have saved here on hours. So it will be favorable. Clear? So what is the net of these three? 1000 favorable plus 100 more. So 1100 minus 900 adverse. So 200 favorable, isn't it? So net 200 favorable. This bold. Yeah. Now we'll verify this with the use of our formula. Labor cost variance is 500 adverse is equal to labor rate variance 700 adverse plus efficiency variance 200 favorable. Yes, so 700A minus 200F will be minus, so we get 500 adverse. Yes, it's telling you. Students, have you understood this sum? CR, please take attendance. If CR is not there, others are requested to take the attendance.